After years of yelling, waiting, and grueling hate mail for the two AVP films, 20th Century Fox and Troublemaker Studios have finally given us another Predator sequel that is actually worthy of the franchise. However, before I get into my review of Predators, let's take a look back at the long 23-year history of the Predator films. Predator was released in 1987 under the direction of Die Hard Helmer John McTiernan. It revolved around a group of soldiers being hunted by an alien in the jungle. What made the film so unique was the fact that you almost never saw the Predator. The damn thing could camouflage itself, so throughout the film, you were forced to use your imagination, and overall use your brain to figure out what the Predator looked like. It was downright genius. And of course, it starred the Governator himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
God, that never gets old. The film was a huge success, so naturally we got a sequel 3 years later. Now, I know I'm in a small minority on this. I mean a really small minority. But I actually liked Predator 2 better than Predator. I know. Let me explain. Arnold going up against the Predator is pretty epic, no doubt. However, when you think about it, it's a pretty even matchup. Danny Glover fighting the Predator isn't. It was more of a challenge for Glover to take down the Predator than it was for Schwarzenegger. That concept of the challenge made the film a little more interesting to me. We all knew Arnold would be the last man standing in the first film, but no one would have expected Glover to pull a victory out of his ass after the beating he took. But when it comes to Predator 2 being better to me, it really comes down to these two factors. The first being the urban environment. It took the Predator out of his element, so not only is there a challenge for the humans he's hunting, but there's also a challenge for the Predator as well. He doesn't just have a jungle now. He has alleyways, street corners, rooftops, subways, and trains to terrorize. That's pretty damn cool. The second thing is actually what a lot of people didn't like about this movie. Gary fucking Busey. He was just awesome in this movie as the badass secret agent trying to take down the Predator, and I swear he has some of the coolest lines ever.
Jima, Cambodia, Beirut, drawn by heat and conflict. He's on safari. Lions, the tigers, the bears. Oh my.
I instantly made that Wizard of Oz line cool. Oh yeah. Oh my. The first two films were pretty solid, and even though I liked the second film better, it failed to perform at the box office, so a third film was never even thought about after its initial release.
Harrigan! More victims! More mutilation! Fuck you! Oh, were you there, Pope?
Epic fail.
That is until 2004 when Paul Anderson decided he wanted to pit the Predators against the Xenomorphs in EVP, Alien vs. Predator. Yeah, because destroying the Resident Evil franchise wasn't good enough, right? Aside from being too lame, too choppy, too PG-13, and completely disrespectful to the source materials of both franchises, it was for whatever reason a success, which meant we got AVP Requiem, which was not, scoring less than $13 million in its opening weekend worldwide. It seemed all hope was lost until the studios approached Robert Rodriguez, the director of From Dusk Till Dawn and Sin City, to produce a sequel to Predator 2 that would simply be titled Predators. That brings me to this film. My feelings on Predators are sort of mixed, but let me just get this out of the way. The film is very good and you should go see it if you are a true fan of the Predator mythology. That being said, let's get to the review. I didn't really know what to expect walking in, even with Robert Rodriguez in the producer's chair, so I just sat down and hoped for the best. When it ended, I came to this conclusion. Predator and Predator 2 were better, but damn was that film good. The film opens with Adrian Brody falling through the sky for no apparent reason when his chute finally opens. He lands in a jungle where he comes across a group of people who fell just like he did. These people are some of the deadliest killers in the world, whether they are soldiers, assassins, or rapists, and they soon discover that they are no longer on Earth, as they are hunted by vicious, bloodthirsty predators who can only see through infrared. The plot is solid, but a lot of the casting had me really confused. Adrian Brody? The special ed guy from The Village fighting off the predators? Really? I'm just saying, that doesn't really get my blood pumping when I'm going to see a Predator film. As the film goes on, though, he does become quite badass. He even quotes Arnold in the film. I'm not going to say which line, just know that it's ugly. My only big gripe with him is that he tries to sound badass by pulling a Christian Bale. And by pulling a Christian Bale, I mean making the lead character sound like he has fucking emphysema.
This is Adrian Brody. If listening to this, you want resistance against the Predators.
Minor gripe, but still a gripe regardless. Secondly, Lawrence Fishburne. He shows up halfway through the movie, and when he does show up, you'd expect him to kick ass, right? No, his voice only has two speeds, whisper and scream. He just doesn't do in this movie what I want him to do. Last, and definitely least, is the one actor who doesn't fit in this film at all. Topher Grace. I don't know what the hell it is about this actor. He just has this knack for showing up in movies that we just don't want him in. Topher, no. Bad Topher. Bad.
I like being bad. It makes me happy.
Yeah, and it makes us irritated. Shut up. The look and feel of the picture is pretty well constructed. You can tell that Robert Rodriguez and director Nimrod Antel tried really hard to homage as much as the first film as possible. But maybe a little too much. There's a scene where one of the soldiers sees a predator tied up and gives it a weird look like she knows what it is. Then later she talks about a man who fought an alien creature in the jungle back in 1987 and gave a detailed description of it. And if you listen to anything I said in the beginning of the video, it's pretty obvious she was referring to Arnold's character, Dutch. This would work if it wasn't for one thing. How does she know Dutch? They never explain how she heard about this story or where this information came from, so what started out as a tie-in just becomes a confusing plot hole. The Predators themselves are back to their roots and in my opinion look more badass than ever. We even have Predator dogs this time around, which I'm still convinced was completely ripped off of gargoyles, but I'll let it slide. I also thought it was pretty cool how we found out that the alien planet was a game preserve. However though, I have to say as well paced as this movie is, the ending, like the last 10 minutes of the movie, is shit. It is shit. That's really all I'm gonna say. Like, the rest of the movie is badass, and then you get to the ending, you're like, what? Really? Oh, what? Right? Oh, come on! Overall, though, I will say Predators is a damn good sequel that will keep fans of the franchises pleased. It respects the source material, the Predators look more badass than ever and are back in full form, and we even get a sword fight between a Predator and a Yakuza assassin. In the end, what more could we ask of a good Predator sequel? I'm Adam J, this is Filmmaster Reviews. Later, bitches.
Prey.